Thanks again, everyone, for coming. I know, especially being St. Patrick's Day in New England, we could all be doing something else, but you really took the time to listen to your friend and come check this out. You know, so thanks for that, number one. But also, we're really excited. You know, that kind of broke down a little bit about what we do, but a lot of people get up and say things like, "This is changing people's lives." You know, first thing he said was, "First day of the rest of your life." You know, the first time I heard that, I was like, okay. But I'll just share a little bit about my story, and you'll see exactly how that can really happen, you know. So I was, student here at PC. You know, I'm from California, so being way out here, throwing a Cali girl on the East Coast, I didn't last too long. So I actually transferred, you know. So I transferred back, and I'm now going to UC Riverside, so I'm back in California. But what happened in that transfer were a couple things. I was recruited to play softball, you know, so I had like a full ride here. So I wasn't really paying for school. And then when I transferred, I lost that. So now I'm paying for school. And then I'm still a Division I athlete, so I'm still playing for UC Riverside, you know. And so if anyone knows any athletes, we don't have very much time. Even if you knew an athlete in high school, you didn't have that much time. A D1 athlete, whole nother story. Nobody. Okay, and then because I transferred, like we were just talking, I was like, if you transfer from PC, they have this thing called Civ. They hate you, and they don't want anyone leaving ever. And so when you transfer, nothing transfers. So I was kind of stuck in a situation where if I still wanted to graduate, even relatively on time, I'm taking 24 units. So everyone that's in college, you know, 12 units, that's a full-time student. So I was taking 24. And a Division I athlete. So athlete and 24 units, I had zero time. But now I'm trying to pay for school. You know, so I was really stuck in a situation where I need to think of something, you know, and I'm thinking like most people are in a situation where it's like, if you want to get money, you know, what do? And you ask anyone, ask your mom, dad, brother, sister, cousin, best friend, everyone gives you the same answer. So I'll ask you, if I want to make money, what do? I go get a job. See, what's funny is I didn't tell you the answer, but everyone gave me the same one. No one varied at all. What's crazy is before I knew about this business, I thought getting a job was the only way to make money. And I found out after getting introduced to this that getting a job is actually the hardest way to make money. And I'm like, what? At first, you're like, what? But when you think about it, 97% of the population struggle financially living paycheck to paycheck, while 3% hold all the wealth. You know that. We already knew that. That's not a new statistic. Like, that's not new to us. We all know that. Why don't we question it? Because 97% of people, if you ask them how to make money, they're going to tell you to go get a job. That 3% know something else. So by coming here today, whether you want to do what we're doing or do something else, doesn't matter, you are now aware of the idea of residual income. Before this company, I had no idea what that was. Residual income is the idea of doing something one time that will pay you over and over and over. Where a job is completely different. Raise your hand if you haven't had a job or have a job. Okay, cool. So where do you work? Or where did you work?
Yeah. Sports medicine.
Okay, cool. So how do they pay you?
How?
Yeah.
Like,
okay, based on like hours?
Yeah, hours.
Hours. Most of us can relate to that. If you've had a job or have a job or know someone with a job, you're usually paid by the hour. Meaning literally, I work for an hour to get paid for an hour. I work for an hour to get paid for an hour. If you don't go to work, you don't get paid. You know, and it's crazy when you think about it, that so many people around the world, they're like going to their bosses, going to people, trying to get more hours. Right? Where there's people like me, I'm like, I have no time to trade. I can't get more hours. I don't have any more hours to be working. I need to do something else. And I know those 3%, the Oprahs of the world, Donald Trump, Justin Bieber, these people aren't asking anyone for more hours because they're not paid by the hour. They built residual income. Example I like to use just so people understand the concept is like Michael Jackson. We all can agree he's been dead for 3 years, yeah? That man last year, 2012, grossed over $200 million. He didn't go to work at all. And you're like, what? How is this happening? Where so many people are freaking out like, I can't take an extra couple days off to go on vacation with my family. I can't afford that. Why? Because I'm not at work those couple days. I'm not getting paid. Or he didn't go to work at all. Why? did something different. If you want something different, you need to do something different. You know, and so what's so crazy is I grew up my whole life looking up to my dad. That was success to me. Because we're all told, go to school, get good grades, get out, get a high-paying job. If that is all you do, you can make a living. But if you ever want to live a lifestyle, you need residual income. Because my dad, sure, he even makes good money. But my whole life, when I think about it, I didn't really see him that much. Why? Because if he wasn't at work, he wasn't getting paid. Whether you're making a lot of money, a little bit of money, it doesn't matter if you're at a job. Why? Because you're working paycheck to paycheck. Every day you get, week, whatever, you get that check, goes to the kid's house, a car, and it's gone. Got to go to work the next week. Then you get another check, goes to the kid's house, a car, and it's gone. Got to go to work the next week. You know, I'm like, whoa, so everyone's stuck in this system. If all you ever do is follow the system, if you ever want to get out of that, you need to own your own system. And they're everywhere, guys. Literally, you walk in a room, you turn a light on, someone got paid. Think about it. Have you ever sent a text message? Yeah. Every time you press send, someone gets paid. When we stand outside, you want to cross the street, you know, you stand on the sidewalk and you like want to go across the street and you press that little button, someone gets paid, paid, paid. They're not working for that, but they set up a system. So when I saw this idea, I got it. And I knew I wanted it, but I didn't know how. This is a vehicle that anyone can get a hold of. You know, because if you want to own a system, you need a lot of capital to put a big system like that in place. I don't have that. If you want to go out right now, start your own restaurant, or you want to open a gym or something, you need to get the place, you got to get your employees, you got to pay all your utilities. If it's a restaurant, you're paying for inspections and stuff, you're paying for food daily after day after day after day. It's like, that's a big risk, that's a big liability. I am a broke, struggling college student with no way to make money. How do I start something like that? Right, and I was actually shown this opportunity by my coach. You know, so when I had transferred from Providence, went back to Cali, I got in touch with some old coaches, and one of my coaches knew my situation because she had played in college, so she knew how it was. She was like, Alaina, if I could show you an extra way to make an extra $500 a month doing everything that you're doing, would you be interested? Absolutely. I said, absolutely. Right? But how? You know, I said, absolutely, I'm willing to do it, but I have a lot on my plate right now. I'm taking 24 units. I'm a Division I athlete, and I was teaching a class, so I had no time. But if I could fit it in, she's like, it's cool because you're owning your own business. You work when you want, where you want, with who you want. You fit it in when you can. But if you're building, it's building. If I didn't want to be here right now, I wouldn't be here. You know, and that's what's so cool. It's like, if you got something to do, go do it. Where so many people, some of my friends are like trying, struggling to get work off. Can I get work off? Can I do what I want to do when I want to do it? You know, you make your own schedule, you make your own thing. And what's cool is I'm 22 years old. I'm flying across the country conveniently to a place where it's St. Patrick's Day and it's like the Irish capital of the world, second to Ireland. So I can pick and choose. You know, I also have teams in New Mexico and like back in Cali and chose help them. Right? And so that's what's cool. It's like you're setting it up for yourself and you could do it anytime. So why wait? That was the biggest thing to me. Time's going to pass no matter what. If you're in school, these next 4 years are going to pass no matter what. Why not be building something for yourself? Because like on the video it said a couple startling statistics. It's like 53% of the kids that graduate this year will not have a job. I'm told go to school, get good grades, get out, get a high-paying job. Well, 53% aren't getting a job. What do I do? And then you think about it, out of that, whatever, 47% that do get a job, how many people, honestly, do you know, graduated, had a 4-year degree, and are working minimum wage somewhere? We all know it. You know, so it's crazy, and I'm thinking about it, I'm like, that's going to be me. I'm a senior. I'm about to graduate. I need to do something different, because what if I get out and I don't get a job? If I have something already building on the side, I'm not going to be freaking out. And what happened to me was, so now you know my story. Regular average student, you know, transferred, broke, 3 months of building in this company. I had a rank called Diamond, so I got that free car he's talking about. I had Mercedes-Benz. And it's pretty cool. I was making about $1,200 a month. I started in the mindset thinking, can I make an extra 500? That would help me so much. That's how easy it was to build this. And then I just helped my friends do the same thing. I got a free car. Now I'm like, guys, I can help you do that. Because if I got it, I can show you how to do it. So then after 6.5 months in this business, I hit a rank called Star Platinum. I'm making about $3,000 to $4,000 a month residually. I'm not standing up here saying like, oh, I'm rich. That's not rich. But I'm not freaking out like a lot of my friends. $3,000 to $4,000 a month. I don't have to get a job when I get out of college. And I'm not clocking in, clocking out to get that. I don't have someone telling me eat lunch at 12, when I can go to the bathroom, when I can take a day off. You know, and so it's a different mindset, but if you want something different, you need to do something different. So that's kind of my quick story, a little bit about the business, but we actually have a couple gentlemen in the room. I wanted to bring this next guy up. What's so cool is you don't know who you don't know. You know, and that's what's so fun. And in this business, you get to know and meet so many great people. And literally this next guy, he's like family to me now. And that's what's so awesome. He's literally, they call him Mr. International. You know, he's flying all over the world helping people do the same thing. You know, he met me when I had no idea how to build a business, no idea what this was, and he taught me everything I know. You know, and he's going around mentoring so many people all across the country and the world. He just came from Atlanta, Georgia this morning to help us. So I want you guys to all give it up to Mr. Jed Bueneluz.
Why do you put me on the spot? I know I'm speaking today. Where's your keys at? Where's your keys? Oh, is it? Cool. Well, happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody. I'm not wearing green, so I don't want to get pinched today. I have no idea. I was been traveling. How's everybody doing? Good?
Awesome.
Well, I don't know. How many were kidnapped today? Give those people a round. I have no idea why they're here. I mean, you're not going to raise their hands no matter what I ask. Well, I'll tell you guys real quickly my background, what happened to me, and how this company completely changed my life. 2.5 years ago, I was actually going to school full-time and working 3 jobs, all minimum wage. And the reason for that was, you know, I didn't have a scholarship, and just any typical college student, you know, you're working a job and you're going to school full-time to get that degree. How many know I'm talking about here? And I was at a point in my life where I was just stuck and frustrated. I didn't know why I was going to school. I was just going because everybody else was going to school, right? And how many know? Like, you'll have that feeling like you're just going. And I was there for the partying. That was just me. You know? I had goosebumps when I would study for a test, and I'm like, why do you guys? I would get goosebumps, and I'm like, man, I'm gonna crush the test today, right? And I studied and studied, and like literally, I'm on my 4th question, and there's 40 questions, like the 4th one, and people would start standing up and like taking their test, and they're done. I'm just thinking to myself, fuck, I'm on the 4th fucking question. I remember that, and so, anyways, one day I had a friend. I believe in life, everything happens for a reason. I had a friend gives me a call, and she's like, Jed, you got to come take a look at what I'm doing. Well, at the time, I want to let everybody know I was Mr. Big Ego, Small Bank Account. You know, people like that. Thinks he knows everything, absolutely had nothing, and I was Mr. Skeptical, Mr. Looks too to be true, Mr. That shit doesn't work, you know, it's not for me, I'm not interested in anything. And but my friend, I trusted her, and I knew she was not that type of person to get me into anything that wasn't, you know, that wasn't safe, or, you know, something that would hinder me. And she, I kind of blew her off 4 times. I said, no, 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 and then eventually she knocks at my door. She's like, hey, you want to have free lunch? I said, let's go. Come on. How many agree free lunch is good? Right? And it was bad. I had a girl buy me lunch. You know, it's supposed to be the opposite. Then free lunch ended up being a coffee and a muffin. And then she kidnapped me to come to an event like this. So I could relate to some of you guys that maybe kidnapped. I don't know who else got kidnapped here. But that night changed my life because I was in the room with people that had careers. Nurses, doctors, engineers. It's probably my phone It's farting up a storm, actually. People that were making a lot of money, and I was the only young kid in the room. And that night I met a gentleman in the room making 60 grand a month.
Jesus.
Yeah, someone squinted, someone laughed. How many would agree that's a lot of money? 60 grand a month, and he didn't clock in and clock out, and he was sharing this concept like Alaina shared. And that night, he asked a question that changed my life, and he goes, "What's the most expensive thing you could own in today's world?" Some said kids. Some said, anybody have kids? Girlfriend, yes. Or opposite, boyfriend, right? Alcohol, drugs, weed, right? No, I'm just kidding. Most expensive thing you can own in today's world, he said, was a closed mind. And he stared at me, because I was the guy in the back like this, you know, like, and a closed mind. And that night changed my life, because he goes, your mind's like a parachute. It's either open or closed. And how many currently have a Facebook? How many once had a MySpace? Right? And at the time when you had MySpace, did you ever think about switching to Facebook? No, right? And a lot of the times, how many ever heard of Rockstar before?
Yeah.
How many ever heard of Red Bull before? Monster. Would you guys all agree those companies make a lot of money?
Yeah.
Would you agree that MySpace made a lot of money? Right? And here's the crazy part. How many have ever used any kind of search engine before, like Yahoo? What else? Bing, Ask Jeeves. What else? AOL. Remember AOL? Now who dominates today? Google. True?
Yeah.
And so, a lot of the times when something new comes around, most people will say it looks too good to be true. Like Facebook. I don't know, Facebook's been around for 10 years, but really didn't get popular until about 5 years ago, and where MySpace started being obsolete. I mean, how many of you guys use still MySpace today? Nobody uses it today. It's all Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I'm trying to get my fucking Instagram to work. The whole time in the back, I'm like, man, I'm trying to get this thing to work, and I shouldn't have been doing that, but. So, that night changed the altar of my life. I made a decision, and I'm going to ask you guys a couple questions, and that's it. I'm going to bring up, I guess, somebody else who maybe wants to share their story. But I'm an average, typical person. You know, I'm no one special. Within a short period of time, and I'll tell you guys, I've been involved in the company. I was able to leave those 3 jobs. Doing it part-time, no sales, no door-to-doors, don't speak to strangers, none of that bullshit. I didn't do any of that stuff. I just followed what they taught me to do. 5 months, I got a brand new car in the company, a BMW.
Wow.
9 months, hit the rank called executive, which was an incredible income. A year and a half later, it turned to over 100 grand a year. And this week, I hit the rank called ambassador. After over 2 years, and ambassador averages about 5,000 to 7,000 a week. So about 20 grand a month. How many of you could use an extra 20 grand a month? But an ambassador averages $250,000 a year. So this week I'm gonna hit the $250,000 mark. By the end of the summer it'll be $500,000, and by the end of this year it'll be $1 million.
God damn.
Here's the crazy part. I'm not the only one doing it. I mean, I got Miss Alaina doing it. Stu's about to hit that rank, and then some of these guys right here are about to hit the ranks of the car. But the neat thing is anybody can do it. It's not. I'm no one special. And Alaina touched on it the best. I think I'm gonna have Stu touch on what we do and how we promote this product. It's not a retail product. You will never see this at Costco, Target, Safeway, gas station. I mean, how many ever seen this before? No? No. It's the first time, right? You can never buy it at a store. You can only buy it through a friend on your friend's website, because and the moment you actually order product, the company will give you a website, and then you have the decision to decide whether you want to build a business like this or not. To me, I remember when I saw it, it was a means to make an extra $500 a month, and then it turned into 1,000, 4 grand a month, then 100 grand a year. Then I'm listening to a professor making 30 grand a year. Didn't make sense. Why would you listen to a professor if you're making more money than? Then I started making more money than a lot of people. And I'm sitting in class and I'm listening to a business training or a business professor. And I asked my professor, so what business did you own? Because I've never owned a business. And I gave him one of those, like, what the fuck look? Like, the fuck? He's teaching a business, but he's never owned one. I mean, you know what I'm talking about, right? Yeah. Right? And so that night I knew school wasn't for me afterwards, you know? And so, but here's a couple questions. Number one is, how many people do you guys know right now in your lives drink energy drinks? It's kind of a no-brainer. Wouldn't you guys agree? When you go into even gas stations or 7-Eleven in this area, Rockstar, Monster, Red Bull, everybody's drinking this stuff. Anybody use that for chasers? And if people are drinking it, what about Starbucks? What about Starbucks? I mean, people are drinking this every single day, right? Yes or yes, right? You know, Starbucks, what is it, $3 to $4, or call it $4, $5? 6. I don't know.
4, 5, 6.
Yeah, charge it on my card. But what we're saying today is people are buying this every single day, right? It's not like we're not changing people's buying habits. We have a very healthy energy drink product. That's when we're open in 59 countries. If you guys don't know already, this product is the official drink of the Phoenix Suns. It was on the Dr. Oz show 3 times in a row. And here, I'll even pull it up with you guys. Does this thing actually work? Can you just put in Vuma.com? Put Vuma.com. And you'll see the credibility of the company. We've been open for over 8 years. So that's the first question, energy drinks. Everybody's drinking it. It's a $7 billion business. This is our website. You get the same website. Everybody gets the same website. Chris Powell, this guy on CNBC, he's like the biggest loser kind of guy. We've got Dr. Oz. We got a lot of credibility. Our convention's around the corner. Dr. Oz will be there in about 2 weeks in Vegas. How many want to go to Vegas? For free. Do we want to go? We'll bring you guys if you don't want to go. We got extra tickets left. There'll be over 10,000 people in 59 countries. It's fun. We were supposed to have Drake perform, but we might have somebody else instead. But the company is now expanding, I mean, through colleges. So the second question tonight is, how many here, Alaina said it, could use an extra $500 a week? You know, $2,000 a month, part-time. Third question is, how many here could use a brand new car? The company gives you an option of BMW or Mercedes-Benz. Then they put a fucking Mini Cooper at the end of it. And we got a group in Tahoe, and the girl's like, we like Mini Coopers, and all the snowboarders. Our friend Rebecca Roberts, she took number 2 in the nation of skiing. Yeah. And just like 2 weeks ago, or was it last week, Stu? She took it like.
Yeah, it was just last week. Stu's girlfriend. I'm just kidding. No, 2 weeks ago, she took second in the nation, and all of her friends who do this with her, because she can't really get a job, but she does this. She's making like an extra $1,500 a month. She's like, I want a Mini Cooper, because I guess in the snow, I don't know, it's traction. I don't know. Like what? I'll get a BMW. Come on now. Yeah, that's what they said too, right? And here's the next question is, how many people do you guys know right now in your life are going to school, who have student loans, and are freaking about graduating because they know they can't find a job, right? Everyone's like, you know, and it's like, it's this whole thing that the society teaches. When I go to a party, I'm Filipino. If you're not a nurse, if you're not a doctor, if you're an engineer, you're like this home from a family. No, you guys, no one's Asian. I'm like the only Asian in Providence. Every time
No, you're not. Go to Johnson Wells.
Johnson
Go to Jehu.
Well, then we need to go there to do some meeting because I
Go to
can
the library.
Somebody, you know. But if you're not, how many grew up in a traditional family where you were taught to go to school, get good grades, and eventually get a high-paying job?
No.
Well, if we know today's market, you know, jobs are not secure anymore. I'm sure everybody would agree with that. Nobody would disagree. The job markets today, I don't care what you think, this is fact. I'll give you a lot of things that are fact today. Jobs are going overseas. This is fact. All the jobs today are going overseas. How many people do you know right now that you've come across, family members, cousins, relatives, friends, that have been at a job for 4, 5, 10, 15 years, have been laid off like that? Just like that. And everybody wants a job. For what? The fuck do you want a job for? How many ever think outside the box? Right? Imagine there is no box.
What?
Like seriously, who told you that you're worth $10 an hour? This is the stupidest thing in the world. And then they tell you when to use a fucking bathroom. Fuck out of here, yo. I'm not a little kid no more. You know what I mean? It's just silly, right? And then first of all, why would you work your butt off for a company that you're not going to own, that you can't give to your kids? Think about what I'm trying to say. Like, you work your butt off. I have my uncles, my aunties have worked for 15, 20, because this is all they knew the system, 30 years, and instantly laid off. Nothing in the bank. I have aunties and uncles and grandparents that retired and are working at Walmart. How many know people like that right today? Right? So today, what we're teaching today is it's not about just being an employee. It's going from an employee to becoming an entrepreneur. And this is fact. You can't even argue with me. In 1800s, everybody was an entrepreneur. When you go to third world countries, everybody's an entrepreneur. This is fact. There's no such thing as a resume. How many know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like literally open up your mind right now. 100 years ago, there was no such thing as a resume. So a system was created over the past 80 years for people, society, I don't know, I'm gonna break it down. People that were very wealthy, they created a system of a job market so the wealthy people can stay wealthy. See, 3% of people own businesses, while 97% of people work for those people. My mentor told me, listen, dude, if you don't have a dream or a goal, someone will hire you and pay you minimum wage or a salary to build their goals and their dreams. And so when I got approached this, it completely changed the way I thought, my thinking. And when you start making a lot of money, you start thinking a little bit different, you know? And I guess the last question today is, our product is so healthy because we are open in 59 countries. Do you guys know people right now in your life that have blood pressure problems, cholesterol problems, health issues today? And it's not anything that we do wrong. It's just the foods that we eat today have no more nutritional value. How many know what I'm talking about? Yeah. That's why the product was on a Dr. Oz show. He believed in the product so much. He's like, people need to be aware. People need to know what's going on. But again, like we say, the product is not sold in stores. You can never buy it at Costco, Target, Safeway, or any of these stores because traditional type of advertising means you have to spend money on commercials. I don't know if you guys know anything about Red Bull. Red Bull last year spent $900 million on commercials. Jeez. Which meant a lot of the $1 million, a lot of these millions and millions of dollars that they invested into advertising went to commercials, athlete endorsement, and celebrity endorsement. Like, why would we pay Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, and LeBron James to say, drink this, like Red Bull does? They spend millions of dollars to pay these athletes and celebrities, and they also spend millions of dollars to put on shelves. The company says, you know what, we're not going to do that. The company takes a little bit of a unique approach. They said, instead of having this at stores, we're going to take it through a network of people, like your friends and family, and anybody that's drinking the product, they get paid by sharing with other people. And I'm going to have you touch on that a little bit about you not getting paid. For instance, Starbucks. Starbucks mastered this. This is nothing new what we're teaching. How many have heard of Mary Kay? How many have heard of Avon? Avon's been around for fucking 70 years. You don't see commercials for that. It's like makeup. You know how many, right? People make a small business out of it. You got Avon too? You do that? Yeah. It's a phenomenal company. It's probably around over 70 years. 100 years? Yeah. My auntie did Mary Kay. Made a killing out of it. Can you get my phone? Yeah. Right there. No, don't answer it. No, turn that shit off. Can you just get Alaina? Hold it. So what we're telling people now is we actually, about a year ago, we got into the college market. And now this right here, this can has helped a lot of young kids make a six-figure income in less than 10 months. And so when I started, I'm gonna let you guys know, when I started and I saw this, I didn't have any money. But what was more expensive? Because it cost $1,000 to get started here. So because that's too expensive. Well, Chick-fil-A's higher. So is In-N-Out and Starbucks. But there's two ways to get started. It's $500 or $1,000. I don't really care how people get started. People go, why do we have to invest that kind of money? Well, let me give you a clue. If you're going to open up Starbucks, you probably need some coffee. Is it true?
Probably.
If you're going to open up a Foot Locker, you probably would need some what? Shoes. If you're going to open up a bike store, you probably need some what? Bikes. If you're going to open up clothes that are all black, you probably need some black what? Clothes. It's kind of a no-brainer, yes? So if you're going to open up your own business and want to start making money, you probably need some product. That's how simple this business is. You order product. You can't buy the product at a store. Okay? We only buy in bulk like Costco at a discounted rate, and you can only buy on a website. So when I started, I didn't have any money. And I tell people all the time today, what was more expensive, the $500 investment that I didn't have or the quarter $250,000 a year that I would have missed out on.
Oh my God.
I'm still not gonna do it. Well, that's okay. We're not looking for everyone. We're only looking for a handful of people here. Nobody's doing it. And if you've ever wanted to be at the right time, right place, guys, this is it. I've never seen anything like this before in my life, where I have young kids making so much money. I have kids in our group making $4 or $5 grand a month in less than 4 or 5 months in this company. And so if you've always been like, you know what, I hate my job, I hate my boss, I hate school, or I just want to be able to make enough money so I don't have to worry about borrowing money from my parents or freaking out about my student loans, or not only that, you're like, you know, I just want to be able to upgrade from Budweiser to Corona. This is what it is. And so I'm semi-retired doing this. I semi-retired my mom. I love giving back to people, and it's so much fun because this is a business of helping a lot of people. You have a community of people that want to help you succeed, want to help you get into a car, want to help you accomplish your goals and dreams. Now, is that better than corporate America?
Yes.
So, anyways, what I want to do, that's my story. And if you guys have any questions later, I'll be back there just answering some questions on how to really get started. But I'm going to bring up my boy. This guy is the man. Man, I met him about, 10 months ago. And this gentleman has completely changed a lot of people's lives. He's actually one of the top YPR young people in our company today, next to Alaina. His car qualified, got his BMW. He's got groups all over the world. When I first met this gentleman, he was shy, quiet, shy and quiet, and shy and quiet. He's on stage with the CEO of the company. He's traveling all around the United States. And he is wiser beyond a lot of young kids today. Really focused on his goals and his dreams. And let me tell you about him. He knows all the facts in this business. He knows 100% of the information. He makes a shit ton of money in this business. And I think the main thing why he's doing this is because he loves helping people. And for him, you know, helping people is the key. But when I hang out with him, he's fun to fucking hang out with. I mean, he's just my younger brother. So if you guys could help me just for a few minutes, he's going to share his story. Stu. Come on, big guy. And he wears Louis Vuitton shoes, so he's making some money here. So
For sure. All right, so really quick, I'm basically just going to kind of share my story, wrap this up. I'll keep it short because I know people might have things to get to with it being St. Patty's Day and all that good stuff. But real quick, a little bit about myself. My name is Stu Massengil. I just turned 20. I'm originally from the Bay Area, San Francisco, East Bay. Flew out here for the weekend, kind of helped the team out here. And I'm supposed to go to school at San Diego State. I'm supposed to be a sophomore there, but I'm actually taking this semester off, basically because this thing is getting really, 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 really fucking big. And kind of to show you the bigger picture of what I mean about that, like they were touching on, other companies like this do multi-billion a year. Avon, Mary Kay, Herbalife, all those things do multi-billion. The crazy thing, this company only did over 117 million last year, right? And other companies like this do multi-billion, but the thing is they started in the 1960s when people didn't have cell phones, people didn't have internet, you wanted to get a hold of your best friend, you waited in front of their house for 3 hours, right? So basically with this, it's like if that went to, like Avon, let's say, for example, went to 11 billion, built off of the 1960s when they had none of that, how viral do you think this thing's going to go when we're the most socially connected generation ever? Because everybody probably knows someone in a different area than them, right? And they know people in that area, who know people in other areas, who know people in those areas, who know people in their areas, and so on and so on and so on. We're so socially connected. That's why this thing goes viral, right? Because everybody here has Facebook, right? But did anyone hear about Facebook from their best friend who went to Harvard?
No.
No, right? But it started as Harvard Connect. You feel me? So it's crazy. It's like we could just go so viral. Everything spreads so fast with us because word of mouth marketing is the fastest type of advertisement, right? And what's crazy, what really struck the light for me is this industry produced the second most millionaires last year, right? Whereas first was professional athletes, but they are told when to show up, when to practice, when to play. They have a strict, specific schedule on exactly what they need to do. Whereas we just kick it with our friends. You feel me? And it's the second most millionaires last year, right? That's so crazy. And what's genius about this company is they're saying we already do this every single day. This fits into us. We don't fit into this. Right? I'm not in a suit. I don't have pie charts and bar charts, right? This fits into us. All they're saying is we talk to our friends every single day about every single thing we do. Whether it's on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or actually being with them. We tell our friends about every single thing we're excited about. The thing here is they're just saying, give them something different to talk about and pay them for it. Because we already do it every day. This is literally us, right? And what's crazy is all our friends want the same exact thing. None of our friends want a job. All our friends want money. All of our friends could use a brand new BMW Mercedes, right? And all our friends need to be a little bit healthier, straight up. You know, so what's crazy with this is we all want the same thing. This is just saying, here's an opportunity to get it, right? And like we're saying, we're not looking for everybody. If you don't want to do this, don't do it. It would be silly to do it. If you don't want to do it, it would be silly to try to convince someone to make money. So if you don't want to do it, don't do it. Like, there's the door. We're not going to hold you away, right? You know, but if you want to do this, we're going to go to bat to help you succeed. Because just like Facebook, I guarantee you know people, they're like, I'm not going to get Facebook. I'm not going to do it. No, Facebook. No, right? But the crazy thing is Mark Zuckerberg is now worth $19 billion. So do you think he cares about those people that didn't want Facebook? No, right? So this thing's going to go absolutely viral with or without you. In the United States alone, there's 50 million college kids, about 4,200 universities around the country, about 12,000 each university. 50 million college kids that already do all this shit, eat, breathe, and sleep, this kind of thing. The thing is only 20,000 know about it. So nobody knows about this shit right now. Literally, it is so small right now, it is so minuscule in comparison to how big this thing's really going to get. You know, where before have you seen kids our age driving around company-paid cars, right? In our team alone, there's about 15 cars that are about to be driven for the next 2 months, right? I'm 20 years old. I got qualified to get a brand new BMW when I was 19 years old, right? And it took me 5.5 months. The crazy thing is it took my mom 4.
Oh.
She's picking her Beamer up next month, right? And you should be able to look at me and be like, if I can do this, anybody can do this. Because I'm not that smart. I'm not a genius. Not anything close to a genius. I'm a normal average kid. Don't know how I got into San Diego State. To be honest, got lucky. You know, got lucky to get in, but I just realized they're giving out free Beamers and Benz. Like, I'm trying to cop on one. I'm trying to get one. You know, but pretty much how I was really introduced to this, it was about 9 months ago, 10 months ago probably now. My best friend was this kid named Boss. And he and I pledged a fraternity together, went through all that shit. Basically became best friends. And when we weren't pledging or in class, we were skateboarding, which was always what we loved to do. Literally skated every single day. And eventually we were like, all right, we're going to create a skate company. So we came up with this company called Stats. Basically, my name was Stu, his name was Boss, Stats. Simple enough, right? Came up with the company, worked on it for 3 months every single day. Eventually took it to a professor at our school who was a multimillionaire, started up Amazon, took it to him. We're like, he's going to be able to help us start up our own business. Right, so we took it to him, started working on it for about a week or two, and then my best friend came to me and approached me about this in a completely different way than anyone else. He came up to me, he gave me a phone call actually. He was like, Stu, fuck the company, we're not doing that shit, I found somebody else. Right, so how many people would be like, fuck you? Right, someone's literally taking your dream and saying, crunch it up, throw it on the ground, step on it. That's just not happening. Like literally I thought this is what I was going to do for my life. I always wanted to start up a business, a company, and so I thought this was going to be my dream life, right? And we get a call, Stu, that shit ain't happening. I was like, what the hell, right? But I was always taught to have an open mind, so I was like, whatever, I'll listen to him, you know, I'll hear what he has to say. Then he brings me a short little Filipino man. Bueneluz. I was like, this is getting weird, right? So the company, here's a little Filipino man. I'm like, what are we about to do, man? I had no idea, but I was like, open mind, right? And what's crazy is he asked me a question that night that literally, you know, changed just kind of how I thought. You know, he asked me, if you knew you could not fail, how big would you dream? You know, think and really think about it. If you knew you could not fail, how big would you dream? Right? And what's cool about this is the only way you fail is if you do nothing or you quit. And it's like every single thing in life. You want to be good at a sport. If you don't do anything, you're not going to be good. If you quit, obviously you ain't making it. If you put a lot into it, you're going to be really good at that sport. Same shit with school. You have a test. If you don't study, you're not going to do good. If you drop out of school, you ain't making it. Right? If you study a lot, you'll do really good on that test. So it's exactly like every single thing in life, except you cannot fail here. Right? Whereas a job, you mess up, you're fired. Right? You're out of a job. Imagine you had kids. Imagine you have house payment. Imagine you have things you actually have to worry about. You're fucked. Straight up. And what this is doing is giving us a realization that people usually get when they're like 30 or 40 or 50. Right? Where you wake up one day when you're 35 and you're like, what the fuck did I do with my life? Right? I'm working at this job. I'm stuck there for 15, 20 years. I'm getting paid like 20 bucks an hour. What the hell am I going to do? Right? But I have kids. I have mortgage. I have car payments. I'm stuck. What am I going to do? Right? But the cool thing about our age is we don't really have shit to worry about. Right? You go to school, study, probably party, probably smoke some shit. Right? That's all you do. So all we're saying with this is make this a little bit of priority, right? So that you're not going to have to work till you're 72. The average death age for males is 78. So do you want to work your entire life, 9 to 5, 5 days a week till you're 72, retire and actually only get to enjoy 6 years of your life? What we're doing here, change it up the 9 to 5 to a 3 to 5. Change it up working 9 to 5, 5 days a week, 272 to a 3 to 5 year plan to be financially set. Because like you said, it pays you with the residual income, which is what all these millionaires and stuff are doing. They get paid all the time. You think Bill Gates, Oprah, Donald Trump, all of them, you think they work a job? You think they tell their kids to go get a job? Hell no. They say start up your own business so that instead of working for money, you can have money work for you. They get paid all the time. When you eat, when you sleep, when you're partying, when you're in class, you literally learn to have money work for you. You know, and I always knew this stuff was around too, you know, when I was introduced to this, because it was like, obviously they're doing something different, right? So we just got to figure out what they're doing, and that's what we're figuring out here. But like we said, we're not looking for everybody, so if you don't want to do it, it's okay there, so don't, right? Because we only need a handful of motivated people, right? A little bit about my story, not to impress you, but to impress upon you what it could do for you. Like I said, after I was involved 5.5 months, got a brand new Beamer. You know, it was pretty cool. I was driving a shitty car before, so got that. It was kind of cool. You know, and also what was kind of cool is, like we were saying, Dr. Oz endorses the product, right? And both my parents actually drink the product. My mom does the business, like I said. Really how they were introduced to it, I came home with a case one day. They have a weight loss program. I came to my mom. I was like, drink this shit. I was like, I don't know what it's going to do. I haven't had anyone drink this yet. I've been drinking the Verb. I was like, drink this shit. Let me know what happens. And she was like, whatever, okay, cool, I'll drink it. She was like, there's 20 grams of protein. She was stoked. She was a protein bar addict. Right? So she was excited about that, started drinking, and after she drank it for a month, she realized she was no longer lactose intolerant. So she was like, this is kind of crazy, you know, and my dad was also a physician. Always had high blood pressure, high cholesterol. So I brought this home, and I was like, Dad, you also need to drink this, right? Because I know this is going to help you. It's really going to help you. And he was like, Stu, yeah, bullshit, whatever, right? Because, you know, physicians are very, very hard-headed. But once he saw that it helped my mom with her problem, he was like, all right, you know, I'm going to open up my parachute. I'm going to kind of check this thing out. And he drank it for a month and a half, and it lowered his blood pressure and cholesterol. Now it's lowered to, like, the lowest it's been in years. He actually just came off his cholesterol medicine.
Wow.
You know, so when we saw that, our belief shot through the roof. We were like, this thing's really happening. This thing's going viral. Obviously, now it's turned into brand new two BMWs in my family, which is kind of cool. It will expand further. My aunts, uncles, cousins are all doing this. Two of my cousins, or my cousin and my aunt actually won the weight loss program. One of them lost 12 pounds in 3 weeks. Another one lost 9 pounds in 3 weeks. You know, so it's really cool kind of what this is doing for everyone. But like I say, don't look at this as I'm up here to boast or brag. Just look at, like, if I can do this, you can do this. Because anyone can truly do this, right? Everybody can do this. Everybody can get a car in this. But not everybody will, right? A lot of people would rather just work till you're 72, which doesn't make any sense. Work, like, hard for a few years and never work the rest of your life. Or work till you're 72, because does anyone, real talk, want to work till you're 72?
No.
It's like, fuck that shit. So what are you going to do about it? Because if you keep doing the same thing, you're going to get the same results. If you look at your life right now, you're probably on track to work till you're 72, and you're probably going to keep doing the same shit. A lot of people will probably walk out of this room, you'll leave, you'll go get a job, and eventually you're going to wake up at 35, you're going to have that realization, you're going to be like, fuck, that white boy in the room was right. Right? And you might think I'm crazy. Right? And I fucking love it when people call me crazy. You might think I'm crazy, but I guarantee you everybody thought Bill Gates and fucking Mark Zuckerberg were crazy when they dropped out of college, right? To do their shit, but now they're billionaires. So if you call us crazy, all I hear is you're going to make $1 billion, and I'm fucking fantastic. Right? You know, but a lot of people are going to walk out of the room tonight, and they're going to go work till they're 72. Because people are scared of change, right? If you want something you've never had before, you got to do something you've never done before. If you keep doing the same thing, you're going to get the same thing. If you don't change anything, nothing changes for you. If nothing changes, nothing changes. Simple as that, right? But a lot of people are going to work till they're 72, and it doesn't make any sense. Why would you work till you're 72? Why would you build someone else's dream? You were not put on this earth. You were not put on this world to work for someone else. Does anybody think they were here, put on this earth to work minimum wage? That's 12 cents a minute. Does anybody think they're worth 12 cents a minute? Fuck no, right? We're God's highest form of creation. You should be able to do whatever you want. You should be able to create your own value. You should be able to literally do anything you want in this world. You are the X factor in your own life. If anybody tells you you can't do some shit, that's bullshit. It comes down to you. My dad told me the day I got the Beamer, he said, I never thought this day would come. Some people just won't believe in you, right? But if you want to make it happen, you're going to make it happen, right? You know, one story I'm going to wrap this up with. The story my good friend Alistair told me. This guy's an absolute beast. You know, he actually, in high school, was interviewed on the Oprah Show by Bill Gates. You know, went to the highest architecture school in San Diego, graduated top third in his class. What's crazy, he graduated $160,000 in debt, graduated top in his class, top third in his class, you know, with letters of rec from Bill Gates and Oprah, and the best job he was offered was $10 an hour. They're valedictorian, couldn't even get a job. So it's like, if they can't get a job, good luck, right? But when he was interviewed on the Oprah show by Bill Gates, he got to ask him one question. He was like, Bill Gates, how'd you do it? How'd you make so much money? How'd you become so wealthy? And Bill Gates told him a simple story. He said, I got my 5 best friends in a room. Right? Told him I need a small investment. I need some time from you. Right? The first friend came up to him, Bill, I just don't have the time. Right? And what's crazy is we all have the same amount of time. We all have 7 days a week, 24 hours in a day, 365 days a week. Right? We all have the same exact amount of time. And if you say you don't have the time, you just don't want it bad enough. Look at Alaina. 24 units, D1 division athlete, and teaching a class. And she made it happen. So if you say you don't have the time, you just want to work through 72. But that's okay. Right? That friend, Bill Gates, don't have time. Walked out of the room. Next friend came up to Bill Gates. Bill, I don't have the money. And what's tight about our age is if you want something, you can find the money. You want to go party on the weekend, you're going to find the money. You want to go smoke some shit, you're going to find the money. Right? You want something, you can find the money. Right? But that friend, didn't have the money. Right? And because it's like, say I told everyone in this room, right? I got a brand new BMW, right? Find me $500 by tomorrow, and you can have my car. How many people would find $500?
Absolutely.
Probably everybody, right? But the crazy thing is a lot of people in the room value a car more than you value your future. Because that's just a car. It won't do anything for you in life. It will not take you anywhere. It doesn't really make you a cooler person. It doesn't do shit for you in life. But yet, you would pay $500 for it. This, whereas, is an opportunity to change your life. You can never work a job again, become financially free, and hey, you can get a free car. Right? It's crazy. School costs $80,000 to $100,000, right? Think about it. 4-year investment, $80,000 to $100,000. And you say, where can I sign? And you have less than a coin flip to survive. And this costs $500, and people are tripping. What? It doesn't make any sense. You pay $80,000 to $100,000 in school, where can I sign? You have 53% of a chance to get a job. Here, the only way you fail is if you don't do shit or you quit. $500 and you're tripping. But that friend of Bill Gates, don't have the money, walked out of the room, right? Bill Gates' next friend, Bill, you're fucking crazy. You're stupid, you're a dumbass, you're crazy. Right? And he stormed out of the room, flipped him off. I can't believe you even brought this to me, Bill Gates. You're a dumbass. I'm walking out of the room. You're fucking crazy, right? What's crazy is the 3 friends that walked out of the room that night are now an author of a book. Right? A book they wrote on the biggest mistake they ever made in their life. Right? Because the 2 people that stayed with them are now the 8th and 15th most richest people in the world on Forbes magazine. Because they did not let little people and little voices get in their way. Because if you listen to little people, how are they going to be able to teach you how to make big money? It doesn't make any sense. Right? Because it's like if you wanted to be good at basketball, who would you listen to? Michael Jordan, right? You wanted to be good at soccer, who would you listen to? David Beckham, right? So if you wanted to be good at basketball, you probably would listen to Beckham, right? If you wanted to be good at soccer, you probably would listen to Michael Jordan. So if you want to make $1 million, why would you listen to your best friend make $8 an hour? If you wanted to make $1 million, why would you listen to your dad's best friend make $50,000 a year at a bank? They've never done it. How can they teach you how to do it? And I'm not saying I've made $1 million, but the information I'm saying is someone who has made $1 million, right? The guy Brad Alcazar on the video makes about $2 million a year with this. Only been involved about 5 to 6 years. Crazy, right? And he could sit on his ass and he would still make it. That's what's so tight about this shit. We get paid all the time. The other day, I went to sleep. I woke up. No, actually, get this. The other day, my mom went to sleep. She woke up. She made $500. She texted me. She was like, "I woke up. I made $500, dude. Let's go." Right? She was jacked. So sick, right?
Oh my God.
But I mean, that's really what's going on. One thing last I want to say is that there are 3 types of people in the room. Everybody's one of them. People that make things happen, people that watch things happen, and people that go, "What the hell just happened?" Right? What's cool? Everybody here, you're not going to be the person that said, "What the hell just happened?" You see what's going on. You're either going to make things happen or you're going to watch things happen. But it's going to go absolutely viral. This thing is going to be huge. We're not saying this isn't going to be the next Facebook. We're declaring this is going to be the next Facebook. This thing is going to be viral. This thing is going to be huge. You're either going to watch it happen or you're going to make it happen. You're either going to see it in 3 months and be like, that skinny white boy was right, or every time someone opens a can, you hear cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. Simple as that, right? Imagine you got paid for every Red Bull in this area. Better yet, imagine you got paid for every Red Bull in Rhode Island. Better yet, imagine you got paid for every Red Bull on the East Coast. Every Red Bull in the country. Every Red Bull in the world. Would you be rich or would you be rich?
Yes.
Plain and simple. Exactly. Right? So that's really what's going on with this thing, guys. Honestly, we're jacked up. We're fired about this whole thing. I'm stoked, right? I'm here from California. This is awesome. We get to fly out here. I'm only 20 years old. You don't see a 20-year-old kid fly across the country for nothing. So this thing, honestly, it's happening. It's going viral. Other than that, we're just going to be kind of kicking it around here, playing music. If you have questions, come get your questions answered. But really, that's it, guys. That's what's going on, and we're stoked. We're jacked up about this thing. So next step, just get back with the person that brought you here. They can show you the next step on how to get started. If you have questions, come find some of us. But other than that, just like thank everybody for kind of taking some time today and coming.
A song choice to start with. See what you did.
Right?
You should have started by getting a new car.
That would have been a better way to get us to go.
Oh, you need one?
I drive a crash.
Students drive like a 96 Honda,
Yep.
like,
What,
piece of shit.
what car did you have?
I drive a 2004 Focus.
2000. I know like, actually, no,
You want
I have 2002.
Yeah, I did.
I always say, I'm not a person. I used to drive a 2002 Mitsubishi Eclipse with a custom brake. No, you can ask. I would park strategically on the opposite side of the street from where I was. On the side of me.
I've had a lot of time.
Different.
That's what I'm trying to do. You get your roofing, huh? Oh, yeah. I should probably stop recording now.